In the summer of 2001, deep in southeastern Iran, a sudden flood tore open a dry riverbed. What the survivors found buried in the thick mud was something that, according to modern history, simply should not exist. To be completely honest with you, when I first stumbled upon this story myself, it sent a genuine chill down my spine. Imagine uncovering dark, polished stones carved with intricate symbols that no living human could read. Artifacts buried beneath the ruins of a massive lost city that wasn't supposed to be there at all. Every single history textbook we grew up reading said no advanced civilization existed in this region at that time. And yet, there it was, sitting right in front of them. Within weeks, thousands of looters rushed to the site, digging illegally under the desert sun. Priceless artifacts began vanishing into the dark world of the black market faster than archaeologists could even write them down. But then, something even stranger happened. Iranian officials stepped in, quietly seized thousands of these ancient relics, and locked them away in shadowed storage rooms. Most of them have never been shown to the public since. It makes you wonder, what did they actually find in that dirt that made an entire government go completely silent? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what unfolded after this flood forced top historians to face a terrifying question they never wanted to answer. What if the very first great civilization on Earth wasn't where we thought it was at all? For over a century, we told ourselves a very comforting story. We were taught that human civilization began in just one place, Mesopotamia, the land between two famous rivers, and then slowly spread outward to the rest of the world. Every single school taught it, and every history textbook repeated it. Honestly, growing up, most of us took this as absolute fact, almost like a religion that nobody ever dared to question. But real history does not care about our comfort zones or what we were taught in school. Think about it for a second. Deep within the Halil River valley in Iran, archaeologists stumbled upon evidence of a forgotten civilization. And here is the mind-blowing part. Many researchers believe this site might actually be older than Sumer itself. If this turns out to be true, it does not just rewrite a small paragraph in an old textbook. It completely shatters the entire timeline of human history as we know it. And honestly, that is precisely why so many powerful people wanted this story to simply disappear. This is the incredible story of the Jiroft discovery, a find so strange, so ancient, and so poorly explained that even now, decades later, top scientists are still arguing over what it actually means for the story of humanity. It all started with a massive flood. In January of 2001, unusually heavy rains violently tore through the province of Kerman in southeastern Iran. The Halil River, which was usually just a dry, forgotten scar in the landscape, suddenly surged with immense power, ripping open the earth along its banks. When the muddy waters finally receded, local farmers noticed something very strange. Half-buried stone chambers were poking out of the eroded riverbank like broken teeth. Now, to be honest, at first they just assumed it was ordinary rubble. Iran is a land completely covered with ancient ruins, so finding old stones wasn't really a big deal. But then, someone pulled a carved vessel out of the thick mud. It was made of dense black stone, and it was covered in intricate carvings of scorpions and serpents, symbols that looked like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Just imagine for a second how fast news travels in a small rural village. Word spread within hours, and within a week, it reached looters, black market dealers, and smugglers from all over the region. What happened next wasn't a careful archaeological excavation at all. It was a mad race against time. Instead of scientists carefully preserving history, thousands of people rushed in, digging illegal pits across the site now known as Konar Sandal. By the time Iranian authorities finally stepped in, a massive wave of priceless artifacts had already slipped across the border, vanishing forever into secret private collections. The world almost lost this incredible story before we even understood what was buried beneath that mud. When archaeologists finally reached the site, what they uncovered completely defied the accepted order of history. Beneath the looted ground lay the remains of a vast, fortified, and highly organized city, with monumental platforms rising straight out of the desert floor. Carbon dating placed the earliest layers somewhere between 2500 to 2400 BC. Now, on its own, that is extremely old, but not impossible. The real twist wasn't just the age of the city, it was the mind-blowing level of sophistication. The artifacts recovered from this site, thousands of deeply engraved stone vessels, showed a visual style unlike anything ever found in Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, or even the Indus Valley. We are talking about strange scorpion men, winged lions, and coiled serpents wrapped around towering temples. These were symbols that appeared nowhere else on Earth in that exact form at that point in time. This led some researchers to propose something extraordinary. This was not just an offshoot or a copy of Sumerian culture. It might have been a completely independent civilization, one that developed writing, massive architecture, and urban planning on its very own timeline. To be completely honest with you, the real truth was even crazier than a simple rewriting of dates. As more of the site emerged, researchers found clay tablets stamped with structured, repeating symbols, a form of proto-writing. If this is proven genuine, it would mean this script predates Sumerian cuneiform, which has long been considered the world's very first written language. This means the story we have believed for over 100 years, that civilization and writing began in just one single cradle, may have been dead wrong all along. If deep historical mysteries like this fascinate you as much as they do me, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel was made just for you. Here is where our story turns from simple archaeology into something that feels much closer to a cover-up. Out of the tens of thousands of priceless artifacts recovered, both from official digs and confiscated from looters, only a tiny fraction have ever been fully published or displayed to the public. To be completely honest with you, some researchers who studied the Jiroft material noticed a very troubling pattern. Unexplained delays, missing data, and access to key artifacts being abruptly restricted without clear answers. Now, Iranian officials cite political instability, looting, and international sanctions as the reasons for this slow pace of research. But independent historians point to something else entirely, a discovery so disruptive to established world history that extreme caution, or maybe pure reluctance, took over. Whether it is bureaucratic red tape or a conscious cover-up, the result remains exactly the same. A civilization potentially older than Sumer sits largely unstudied, its symbols completely undeciphered, and its true age still fiercely debated. Of course, to give you the full picture, some skeptics argue that Jiroft was just a regional trading partner that simply borrowed ideas from its neighbors, rather than being an independent cradle of civilization. But even those skeptics have to admit something deeply unsettling. Experts estimate that what has been excavated so far represents only a tiny fraction of what still lies hidden beneath the desert sand, which means the true revelation may still be buried right beneath their feet. And that leaves us with one final chilling question that haunts every researcher who has ever looked into this site. If an entire advanced civilization, with its own cities, art, and language, could vanish so completely that we didn't even know it existed until a flood tore open the earth, what else has the desert swallowed whole that we have not found yet? Somewhere in a dark storage facility in Iran, sealed crates sit stacked in the shadows, holding ancient symbols that no living person can read. Maybe they are the remnants of a long-lost empire, or perhaps simply a misunderstood regional culture waiting for patient scholarship to properly explain them. But either way, they serve as a powerful reminder of something truly profound. The story of who we are, where we came from, and how human civilization actually began is far from finished. We like to believe that history is a settled book, written, printed, and closed forever. But every so often, the earth opens up, reminding us just how little we actually know. If you have made it this far, you already understand why stories like this matter so much. Because in our very next documentary, we are going to uncover the dark part of this story that almost nobody talks about. We will look at the priceless artifacts that vanished across international borders, and the shadowy collectors who may be sitting on pieces of history the world was never meant to see.